Yo, what's up guys, Nate here. So, in today's video, I'll probably be showing you guys like probably the top 5 decks to use right now in the month of December. I feel like with the 21 challenge coming up, I feel like the meta hasn't really changed. Supercell did make an announcement that they said that there would be no bounce change in the month of December, and I think 21 challenge is coming back, 2v2 is coming back, so and since there are no bounce changes, I mean the meta will be like pretty much the same. I feel like probably like P.E.K.K.A is definitely a top 5 deck. I feel like this video will, I mean, of course, like we all have like different opinions. So you guys like might think P.E.K.K.A is like the best deck in the game. P.E.K.K.A might not even be a top 5 deck. I mean, I feel like P.E.K.K.A after the nerf, it's still a pretty good like meta deck, I would say, but definitely not the best deck anymore. I mean, I think I already know, like you guys can probably guess like what top 1 deck is, but I feel like P.E.K.K.A and Ram Rider, especially Ram Rider. I mean, I know like what it was like only like three seasons ago, like 3 metas ago, where like P.E.K.K.A was like completely dead. It, like was so like it was kind of like trash. It wasn't even meta, and then they gave Evo P.E.K.K.A a buff. They gave P.E.K.K.A a range buff, and then they like buffed Ram Rider. Honestly, I didn't really think too much of the Ram Rider buff, but man, that card like along with like Goblin Gang, like Spear Goblins, like it's just so broken. Like very annoying cards, I feel like. And also you have the Stein. I feel like Stein is basically just like an LP, like a. I feel like it's just like not a better version of LP, but like kind of like a Halloween version of the LP, right? Where you have the scientist and you have like the big fat Frankenstein, like which really does not die. I feel like even after the Stein, they got a nerf. Like it got a nerf, yes, but it only got a nerf because it needed a nerf. But I feel like Supercell didn't really kill it off yet. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the LP meta. I mean, LP was basically like kind of like a necessity in every deck, right? To where you kind of needed LP in the meta to win, but it's kind of the same with Goblinstein. I feel like if you have Goblinstein in your deck, and like I feel like if you're somewhat familiar with how to play it, like how to pop the ability, and then you just place a card down the field, and you pretty much win the game. Of course, it's kind of like the first day of the season, so you also have like Evil Snowball, but I don't think Evil Snowball will really do much in the meta. I mean, how you play Evil P.E.K.K.A is literally just go P.E.K.K.A at the back, Goblinstein in front of it, or Goblinstein in the opposite lane, and then spam Ram Rider Rage, and then you'll win the game here. But a pretty nice first win, I guess. Okay, so hop in the next match here against Birdman 2K from 225 Bench Club. Yeah, I don't really. I mean, people have asked me if I can bench yet, and I don't think I've ever tried like benching, but I think I actually don't know how much I could bench. Probably like maybe like 60, 70. Isn't the bar like only like 45 or something? Okay, maybe pretty bad. Facing a Barrel LP though. It's kind of an interesting deck, but I am at League 2, so gonna go Bomber here. But yeah, I feel like Drill is one of those decks to where it was like really broken, like I think like 4 months ago, but then now it's kind of like mid, I would say. Yeah, and with the Goblinstein, I feel like with the upcoming 21 challenge, if you guys just like want to win or like just want an easy deck, literally just run okay, let me just activate my king here. I should activate king, right? Bruh. Okay, I missed my king tower activation, but it's fine. But yeah, I feel like if you guys just want free wins, or like if you guys want to get to at least like 17, 18, I think it's 17 for a badge, right? Like 17 and above for a badge for the 21 challenge, then just use Goblinstein. I feel like for me personally, I probably like won't use that because I want to get like at least I want to get this at least 121 challenge with Minor Rocket without using Goblinstein, and then I'll just use like Minor 2.0, and then maybe I use Goblinstein if I like want to get like free wins. But I feel like Stein's just like one of those cards where like it's kind of like a necessity. I feel like if you guys aren't using it, then you're not really kind of abusing it, like because there's like there's gonna be like a level cap in the tournament challenge, and if you have the pass Royale, then you have unlimited attempts. So I mean, again, I feel like even after the Goblinstein got nerfed, like it's still probably like a top 3 card, I'm not gonna lie. And there's like so many win cons you guys can use it with. I feel like Drill, you have you have Log Bait as well, and then you can use it as P.E.K.K.A, you can use it in like Lava. I guess you can use it in Lava, but not really. But yeah, there are like a lot of good decks in this meta to use right now, but I feel like anything Goblinstein, like Goblinstein Mortar is also very powerful too. But yeah, I mean, I took a lot of damage here, but I did both my Evos in my hand, so he's probably gonna go like recruits here, so he's go like Drill, then Evil Bomber, like NATO, then Ice Sprint, and that's probably game over. He's definitely gonna recruit here. He's gonna wait a little bit. Okay, yeah. Evo Bomber, then NATO, then like pop my ability, or Evo Bomber, then pop my ability. It probably won't take his tower, but probably do like a lot of damage here. So yeah, like a lot of damage, man. And he isn't really using like a meta deck, but I feel like there are different like drill variations that you guys can use. That's to the side. And I haven't even, bro, I didn't even activate King Tower either. Not that it really matters, but. But I'm gonna Goblinstein the bridge here. The Fishman should grapple the Frankenstein. I mean, it's kind of boring how like you kind of like need Goblinstein, but And it's kind of like the same thing as LP, right? You kind of need LP to have success, like to be successful on ladder, or like, you know, if you guys are playing like mid ladder, or like, you know, if you want an easier time, then definitely use Goblinstein, I would say. Log Tornado. Yeah, that should be game over. Okay. Well, it's kind of easy wins, but I'll see you guys in the next game. Alright, so the next best deck I would use in this meta is probably Log Bait. I feel like you guys can definitely either use this one with Cannon or use Hypno's Variation. Honestly, if you think about it, like Hypno's Variation with like all that spam, there used to be like a troll deck back in the day. Like it was like people were saying like it's too cheap, it doesn't work. But I think with all the evos, Evil Barrel, it's kind of surprising though. Like I said, like Evil Tesla, yeah, Evil Tesla and I was like Evil Knight as an example were like two of the best evils back in the day. Like when Evolutions like first got released, or like kind of in the midst of like, you know, 2 evils getting added like per month, and then now you have Evil Barrel and Evil Ice Spirit. I mean, Evil. If you guys remember that Dagger Duchess meta, Evil Barrel, Evil Ice Spirit were like probably one of the worst evils in the game. It like it didn't even make sense to use those evos, but look at it now. Evil Barrel is definitely a top 3 evo. Evil Ice is definitely a top 3 evo as well. I'll probably put Evil Ice as probably like the best evil to use right now. Yeah, best evil to use right now in the game. Then you have Evil Battle Ram too. Evil Battle Ram was complete trash back in the day too, but somehow, some way, I feel like those bottom 3 evos have come into the game as probably like a top 5 evos, and it doesn't really make sense, I guess. I mean, I guess it kind of does, because Evil Ice Spirit did like kind of destroy, like beat down. That's why like you don't see like much of P.E.K.K.A. But in the Evil Barrel, I mean, I never thought Evil Barrel was bad. It was only bad due to like, you know, Dagger Duchess like being completely counter Evil Barrel, and then they got nerfed, right? And then now it's very hard to counter Evil Barrel. Kind of one of the more annoying evils in the game now. Yeah, and Evil Skeletons, I mean, I feel like this card will always be like a staple in the like yeah, in the Evo tier list, right? I think it'll always be like a top 5 Evo. It'll never drop, right? Because it's just like so strong for just one elixir, right? And then I guess how the ability does work here. We're facing Mega Knight Loon. Kind of an interesting combination, but I feel like with Log Bait, it's just all about spam. And also with the spears, didn't Spear Goblins get a buff too? I feel like people don't really talk about the Spear Goblins buff. I think spears do a lot of damage, and it's a lot of pressure too. I feel like with Hypno's Variation, I think his deck is literally just all spam, and then like kind of just, it's kind of like Relentless Pressure. It kind of does remind me of yeah, it does remind me of Miner spam back in the day, like that Miner Bats deck with the Wall Breakers. But I feel like a lot more annoying for like yeah, a lot more annoying because, you know, with Log Bait, I mean, I feel like the whole point of Log Bait is really to spam with the bait and then just keep on spamming and then defend, and then I feel like it's more spamming. But, you know, I feel like that deck is kind of just not in the, I feel like Log Bait is not really in the highest position to be like the most skillful deck of all time right now in the meta. But again, it's just like Log Bait at one point, like I feel like maybe like 3 seasons ago was like the worst deck in the game, or maybe like six seasons ago, or like 6 months ago, it was like one of the worst meta decks in the game. But now it's like one of the best, dude. I just don't know, man. I feel like Riley can't complain about Log Bait being bad anymore, because now I feel like Log Bait is definitely a top 5 deck in the game. So okay, so I mean, I feel like most of you probably like have seen this deck kind of like not go viral, but this deck is very strong in the meta too. I feel like Pigs has always been a staple in the meta. I think maybe there's been like maybe like 1 or 2 bad meta for Pigs, but not really, because I feel like Pigs has a lot of outplay potential. I mean, people do forget, like back in the day, Queen used to be, I would say, like the best champion of all time before, like, you know, and for like, you know, I feel like all these new champs came out, like all these new evos. I think Queen is definitely still like a top 3 champion, or it might be the best champion, to be honest. I feel like evos have definitely outshined like the old champions, and then you have the new champions as well. But I feel like besides I feel like besides the Goblinstein, I feel like Archqueen is kind of like definitely a forgotten champion. People don't realize like how good her ability was. And then I think with this deck as well, and people forget, man, that like Earthquake used to be one of the best spells in the game. I mean, if you guys remember that I think it was like that Earthquake meta, where like Earthquake Mirror meta, where you could do like over 2,000 damage with like a Queen on the field and like an Earthquake in like under 30 seconds. It was like something like that, so like something crazy. Maybe it wasn't like 2,000 damage, but it was around like 13 to 1,500. So, and then also you have the Evil Skeletons and the Evil Ice Spirit, and it's just crazy. I think people are calling, yeah, people are definitely calling for an Evil Ice Spirit nerf, but I think the best way to nerf it is probably just to make it 3 cycles again. I feel like that may make it like, maybe it's like too little of, yeah, maybe people are saying like it's too little of a nerf, but I feel like 2 cycles is already a lot for a one elixir card. But yeah, it's kind of a lot, but I think 3 would kind of make it balanced where like, people can't like constantly abuse it. Like if they have the Queen on the field, they can definitely cycle back to another one, but I feel like 3 cycles for like 1 elixir. I feel like back then I didn't really understand it, but like I guess like as the meta evolved, right? I think turning it back to 3, or I mean, balance changes won't be coming out till next month, but like in the New Year's. But I feel like that'd be definitely a good change, just like reverting it back to 3 cycles. But I feel like let me know what you guys think in the comments below and like what nerfs you guys would want in the meta or like in this game. But I think definitely Eva Iceberg is definitely one that should be nerfed, because I think if Pekka got a nerf, right? If Pekka got a nerf, then I feel like Eva Iceberg definitely deserves a nerf too, because it would kind of like potentially it would like kind of lessen the pigs damage or lessen the pigs potentially. But I feel like Eva Iceberg is definitely strong in like a lot more decks, like Hog Cycle as well. But yeah, I feel like some decks that I feel like I probably won't include this video, but like you guys should definitely still use or consider. It's definitely like Hog, right? Like Hog Cycle with Stein. Again, I feel like the tournament challenge, there's gonna be so many people using Goblinstein, and again, like coming from someone who is potentially washed, but kind of still has an understanding of the game. If you guys like want to do well, use Stein, man. Stein right now, like in this point of the game, it's just like it's basically like the LP like 2.0, like LP 2.0 basically. So Hog, then you have Lava, and also RG as well. So. Alright, so that's probably like the best deck, the best meta deck. I may be a little bit biased putting this deck as number 1, but I think Mortar is definitely probably one of the best decks in the game to use. I feel like you guys have the Fireball one, you guys can use the Poison and also like the non big spell one as well. I feel like Mortar, I mean, even Mortar literally got a nerf and it's still one of the best decks in the game. And also Canner got nerfed too, so it's kind of crazy to think that like I guess pre-nerf, like can you guys imagine how, I mean, you guys can't imagine because it's only been like basically a month and a half since like the last changes came out, or I guess a month and a half. This deck is still so strong, man. And the fact that people are using like Poison, Fireball, and like arrows as well, it kind of like should show you guys like how good this deck really is, or how good it was back in the day. And then not back in the day, like only like a few months ago. But you also have Cannon Card as well. The Evo Batsman too, like a lot of bait, right? And then if your opponent like overcommits, then you also have the Goblinstein to apply pressure. You can literally go Goblin getting the bridge, and then also Graveyard too. It's like I feel like if this deck didn't have Goblinstein, it would not be as strong. I'm telling you guys, Stein makes every deck so much better. It's kind of insane. Of course, I don't really think Stein works in minor control. Like it works like in like minor loon decks. It works in like minor bait decks. But like, I feel like in terms of like minor control, I've tried to use Stein, but I just don't think it's that good, to be honest with you. I'd rather just take Dark Prince or like even Knight. I think Knight is a lot better than Stein is, even though Stein does offer like, it does fully counter Graveyard by itself with its ability and all of that. But let me go Bats here. He might try to pop his Graveyard here if he does. Yeah, go for like Goblinstein and then plug this value. Gonna pop my ability here. And the Giant will probably get like 2 hits on top of my tower, but yeah, look at that ability, dude. Bro got 3. Yeah, it's kind of unlucky, but those are evil archers. Oh well, let's take it for the mortar shot. Let me go Goblin in the middle, try to. Okay, that was a bad king by me. I'd be kind of careful, man. I am down like 900 damage here, but look at the. Wait, I might go Miner here just to distract. Okay, let me wait for that LP to lock and go for evil Bats here. Go for evil Mortar here as well. Those are arrows. I don't think he has enough for Giant. We'll go Goblin getting a block archers or something. Okay, caught minions instead. Bro, look at those Spear Goblins. Dude, I'm telling you guys, the Spear Goblin's nerf is so underrated, dude. But yeah, I don't know like when the tournament challenge is gonna come out. I think maybe like in like 15 days, like maybe like in under 2 weeks it's gonna come out. But I mean, the meta won't change. Yeah, I feel like Goblinstein is just like so unfair, dude. Like I've never I don't think we've ever had a card that like fully counters a Graveyard like this. I mean, maybe the Mother Witch, but like you can like arrows. Yeah, you can literally arrows like snowball a Mother Witch away, and then but you can't like arrows snowball like you can fireball arrows at Goblinstein, but that'd be like so much elixir on the field. Yeah, I mean, I feel like shout out to RG, especially like Sophien's deck, RG Lightning, RG Fireball, and also Lava, like Doom Nick's deck as well. I feel like those decks are very good right now in the meta as well, but it tends to be a one trick to have success with it. But yeah, I'll probably be that in the video. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys later, man.